Why?
As to tell, let's talk about Odegaard. I don't think that young man, as a Madrid fan.
We'll come back for him. All right.
There's no club that said people can come and take. You've not looked at the contract.
Money now. It's money. No. Which clause? The clause is money. We saw how the team suffered when all the time Partey was out injured. And
Let's just talk about
Partey is back now. We are seeing that synergy between him, Partey, and Rice in that middle. So it gives him more opportunity, to flare, to go forward, and all of that, knowing that he has these two guys beside him and behind him.
TRANZEET TV, welcome back again. I think Chelsea is officially into the banter era now, where they now banter us now with performances that are from other clubs, not from theirs. Arsenal 5, Chelsea 0. Nimi, you want to start us on this one?
Why do I have to start, Richie? After beating me black and blue, you haven't allowed me to relax. But it's all good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining this podcast. As you can see, my hat is on my face. I can't even look at the camera right now. I'm really, 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 really sad. But it's soccer. We have to take it right from the onset. Big ups to Arsenal. Big ups to Mikel Arteta. He got it right today. The boys came out fired. And even from the get-go, we knew that we were going to lose this game because of the personnel Pochettino used. And it says a lot about some coaches when they don't know the history of rivalry. You should know Arsenal and Chelsea are a big rivalry. You got to use your best players. I don't understand for the sake why Pochettino had a combination of Badia Shile, who is a disastrous center back. I don't know how he was scouted for Chelsea. I've always said this. He's a horrible, horrible center back. Monaco. They robbed us. They took our money, and we need that money back. Partner with Disasi. Why keeping Chalobah and Thiago Silva on the bench? And why do you start the kid on the right-hand side when you know he doesn't have no Alfie Gilchrist? He doesn't have no experience. This was clearly a sabotage from Pochettino. And if I was Chelsea, I will fire him there on the stadium. He should not get in that dressing room with those players because he's a useless coach. Chelsea has never been this man. I'm really angry. I can't even. Michael Jackson, Kabu striker, all of them. Noni Madueke shaking his legs like he's about to dance a willow dancing. I just don't understand the tactical acumen of Pochettino is really terrible. And there was before the game, Chelsea already put a white flag. We made Arsenal look like a prime Barcelona, which they are not. And all of these things again goes back to a coach that doesn't know his onions. He should leave Chelsea. As a matter of fact, he should go. We don't want Pochettino again. Pochettino should leave that club. He should leave that club and should pack his bag and get away from that club. I can't imagine seeing what I saw today. I couldn't even watch the match to the end. I couldn't. I just turned off the television. And if not for that goalkeeper, if not for the goalkeeper, this match would have been 10 or 11. And he had the effrontery to go and shake Arteta after the game. Now, Obu will strike that coach, man. That Pochettino, I'll just let it go for now, though. I'll let it
over here, are we cursed?
I know you have the last time out here, you sang the praises of Arsenal, and rightly so. Today, I don't know where to start with this one. Mimi has said a few things about Chelsea. What's your general, thought on this one?
Yeah. Yeah, good evening, guys. Good to see you all again and seeing all these smiley faces, seeing Ogum, all beaming and all, I mean, Nimi, I understand your frustration, bro, but this game, if there was one game I knew Arsenal would win this season, it was this game. And Reggie, I said it earlier on in the day that
in the forum,
in the forum that Arsenal, I meant every word of that, So it's and the ball showed up from the first minute of the game. I knew it was going to be a thrashing, and because Chelsea has nothing. When I look at the boys on display and everything, that Chelsea squad has nothing on Arsenal. There is nothing. There is nothing to compare. So Nimi, you don't really need to be so angry, because this is one game that summarizes Pochettino's Chelsea. It can only take a team that is in form, like Arsenal, who is a bit, wounded from the Champions League exit, which for me, I didn't really put much on that. But for me, they had every reason to have qualified, into the semi-finals. But, well, I will just give it to inexperience, that robbed them of that. But you see this game, you don't really, I know as a Chelsea fan, you really need to be angry, but trust me, this is a summary of Chelsea's season, and this shows that Chelsea are right where they are on the table. It's their rightful position. Wherever you see them on the table, is their rightful position. It's not fluke. They are there. And Arsenal is where they should be. Arsenal should either win this title or will continue to ask Arteta a very critical question. I mean, just look at it. In fact, why would you be angry? From the get-go of the game, Arsenal came in to win. It would have been 3-0 in the first half. This is a game that would have, ended in a comfortable 8-0 win. They didn't come out. They had nothing to prove. Chelsea had nothing to prove.
It's okay, please. Ubum,
No.
at three goals. You should have made some changes and change the formation to 3 at the back. What do you think he was thinking? Was it damage control, or what was he trying to achieve with going 5 with 5 defenders? Was he trying to score more goals or personal efforts and still they consider another 3 goals?
You mean Pochettino?
Yes.
I think it was more of damage control. I think that was when he took off Modric, right? And brought in, who did he bring in again?
He brought in
Yes. Yeah, it was more of damage control. Yeah, it was a good game for me as an Arsenal fan. The only person that I've said something about in that Chelsea team that I feel a lot of pity for is Nico Jackson. I don't think Nico Jackson is as bad as he's being made out to be. He's one of the scapegoats, for the Chelsea squad right now. I think that there's a young striker that was plucked from Villarreal after just a few games of scoring goals at Villarreal. He wasn't even really the top choice there. He has a lot of upsides, but he's been brought into a team where, in the absence of Cole Palmer, he was expected to deliver. But he needs time. Needs time to adjust to the league. Needs a proper coach that will help him with finishing. Every other thing about that guy is great. He gets into very good positions, makes very good runs, is able to link up play, hustles for the ball. But once he gets in front of the goalie or somewhere near the 18-yard box, he seems to just go, he just seems to shut down. He doesn't know what to do with the ball. So I think with time, he will come good. I felt a lot of it. There was a time the camera beamed on him. I was like, oh my goodness, this guy is shot. His confidence is shot to pieces. And he shouldn't even have been on the field with the stamp he had on Tomiyasu's ankle. He probably would have been sent off, and it would have been an even worse game for him. But yeah, it is what it is. I think that Pochettino did not give himself, did not exactly cover himself in glory today with the way he set the boys out. I agree with Nimi. When I saw Badiashile and Disasi in the center of defense, I was like, okay, yeah, not too bad after all. I expected really that he would have played Thiago and played the other defender that's quite dependable. Chalobah. Yes. So I think he probably just waved the white flag with his lineup for the game. And credit to us now, we took really good advantage of it. Should I go ahead and analyze or just?
I think let me ask you in this Chelsea team, because I say this all the time on this podcast. You can say what you say about coaches, say what you want to say about people upstairs, the management of the team. But as an athlete, when you step out on the pitch, there's one thing for me, I believe, or two things I believe you should have at the back of your mind. You have to compete. I have to have the pride, self-pride to okay, let me just do my thing. Put an effort. Forget about tactics, forget about philosophy, forget about the coach's instruction. But there are two things that are basic that as an athlete, when you go on the pitch, being paid or for fun, you have to show that, hey, I can do it. Compete against your peers and show that you have that desire, because it's okay to do bad in Chelsea, but you can still get a good job out there. Another person can come and pick you up and take you to a better team. But from this Chelsea team, if you're asked to sign any player in that team today for Arsenal, can you pick up 3 players?
Are you talking about today with the starting lineup? Because, if I could pick Cole Palmer,
players that play
today. Okay. This is, I would go first and foremost with Conor Gallagher, I feel like. I think he has the drive that none of the other Chelsea players do. And one of the commentators kind of mentioned it was that, there's no other reason why he's the most played Chelsea player this season. He has the captain's armband for a reason. I think he's the one that's the most committed. Nani Madueke, actually, I think he caused a lot more trouble than a lot of people really noticed.
Nani Madueke, for me, is one of the most annoying, because football is no longer trickery, just show skills. I don't think he shows enough off the ball to defend the badge. But I think that's the basic, one of the major problems that Chelsea has. The players don't defend the badge enough. Because for you to get to this level, signed by Chelsea or Arsenal or anybody, you should have the basic skills. Everybody has it. You should have the basic knowledge of the game. But at this level, it's not just talent. There is more. You need, like you said about Gallagher, you need drive. You need commitment. You need to, want it. But I didn't see it today from the beginning of that game. Like I just said, Arsenal in fact, I remember in those days when we were elementary school, games like this, you win 5-0 and you still get whooped. Because you're supposed to win 15 or 10.
Yeah, the thing is I thought the first half, at least after the first Arsenal goal, I thought it was going to be a drilling, but it was actually a bit closer than I thought. Chelsea did have a couple of opportunities, and like I said, Madueke, he kind of cooked Tomiyasu a couple of times. But actually, there was a moment in the game where the video camera panned out to this Chelsea fan that was like, I don't want to fight for your shirt. I want you to fight for the shirt.
But fight for one blue kid. Exactly.
Yeah, and that kind of summed up Chelsea's season. There's no player that's really there to fight, not only for, like you said, as an athlete, you have your own pride. You have your own standards. And you look at Cole Palmer, this is a player that doesn't have much first team Premier League experience, and he came onto this Chelsea squad and he's far and out their best player. You can call it more of a self-drive, because I don't know if he does it for the badge. I think he just wants to prove himself.
I think it's
as a player.
The culture is coming from Manchester City. You can't be in that culture and not be a hard worker.
Look at Sterling.
Right quick.
Sterling really didn't he hasn't been a standout player at Chelsea since he's been bought by Manchester City.
Was finished before he came to Chelsea. I don't even know why Chelsea signed him. He was not going to bring anything to Chelsea.
Yeah, can I add something before Chema says anything real quick?
Let me speak, please.
Can I add anything?
Yes, me.
You know, it goes back to what you said, Reggie. There are some things you cannot teach. Look at that useless Mudryk. The second goal. After like 5 times, did you guys watch the corner when Arsenal had those corner kicks? A basic soccer player, even from a childhood, you know, when they have you go close to the line. When you see another player close to they want to play a corner kick, there are 2 players that you go close to the line. Corner kick after corner kick with his wing, he never went to the line. He stood, check out the second goal, go watch the second goal again. He was inside our box, close to the pole. What kind of a play? What can a coach tell you? If I was a coach, I'll pull you out there and then. Useless, you know, those are things that you can't even teach. Why are you a soccer player when you don't know that? The basics of soccer. Do you want a coach to come teach you that?
Thank you for taking him off of us. Appreciate that.
Tama, let me ask you. You know, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, we talked about lineups here. Kai Havertz, Jesus, Uguma has been on Jesus lately. I don't think it's no longer a coincidence that Kai Havertz, each time he starts from that position, Arsenal has scored more than 2, 3, 4, 5 goals, especially in the league. And people still don't feel that he's a number 9. Talk to me about Kai Havertz in Arsenal.
He's not now. See, he's not.
See the way I'm laughing. That's because word on the streets has, you know, some Arsenal fans shouting, "Oh, Kai Havertz, get out of here, Kai Havertz. We don't want to see no Kai Havertz." I think Arteta is obsessed with Kai Havertz and all of that. And I go like, if you have a stench of Chelsea on you, you'll be so off as a player. Okay? And that's what Kai Havertz is trying to get off his body. Kai Havertz, to me, feels like Giroud. With Giroud, starting out with Giroud, we actually didn't think, you know, he was what's the trouble in the beginning. But by the time Giroud got work done and all of that, he became the refined player that we even had to give to Chelsea. And he made things happen for them. So with me, Kai Havertz is a bit rough. Of course, I'm a Kai Havertz fan. But I think he's a good 9. He's even better than our Brazilian young stamps this season. I beg. Let's just tell the truth the way it is. Kai is rough. Of course he is. Sometimes it's like he's fidgeting. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. Like when the game started, many Arsenal fans on Twitter were just going off at him. But I understand the obsession, in quote, Arteta has for Kai Havertz. He was his first baby. Like, he was so convinced that he could get the Dortmund Kai back. And we see it happening. It's not our fault it's not our fault that it's going to take a lot of work. But did you see Kai Havertz's goals? They are not fluke. These are goals that somebody.
Yeah, I mean, one running behind. The second one was a very clinical good thing.
Yes, he's falling down, up and down like Webeck. Why?
As you know, let's talk about Odegaard. I don't. That young man, as a Madrid fan.
We'll come back for him. All right.
There's no clause that said people can come and take. You've not looked at the contract.
Money now. It's money. No. Which clause? The clause is money. How we clause the money?
Right now, Madrid cannot afford
He turned them down.
People are pricing.
No, don't worry now.
Mbappe 140 million. Then you cannot afford Odegaard.
Luka is going now.
He has outgrown Madrid. He has outgrown Madrid.
No, it's not true. It's not true. Luka is going. If Luka goes, if we free up funds, so we can throw some banana to
No,
Arsenal.
no. The other guy is
He's our boy now.
Other guy that built a mansion in London is it's going to be tough. Talk to me about that young man.
It's not Europe. Anybody can live anywhere.
You know, as a Madrid fan, when he was leaving Arsenal, I remember very well. I've said it here many times. That window that Arsenal, after his loan spell in Arsenal, that summer, that I said that if there's any chance that he can sign Odegaard, he will wait till the last minute. And that he did. He really, really, really waited. Kept pushing until I think Real Madrid was reluctant to let him go, but they just had to. You know, Ceballos came back, then Ateta took Odegaard. I think it was 2 days end of the transfer window or something like that. You know, as a Madrid fan, what was your emotion when this was going? Were you like, okay, he can go because of what was happening that time, or did you see this coming?
No, the lad has been a very talented lad all the while. He's very confident with his style of football, you know. And you must understand that it's not, I don't know if it's a Madrid thing, you know. Like that spirit of Madrid that creates some level of confidence in players, you know. I mean, don't be making that face. This is a fact. Look at this boy. Just look at all the lads that came into Madrid. Chouameni, Kamavinga.
Like Ceballos.
Even this guy, this little, the one I called our own Messi now, this Brahim Diaz, you know, give that boy next season, that boy will light up Madrid.
What about Ceballos?
Ceballos did his best, but you know, he's there. He also has that confidence, but you know, his kind of game, there are a lot of people that could not allow him to, you know, prove himself. The same way you have people like Nacho who are just sitting dog there, but whenever you give them the opportunity, they will not let you down. You know. So I mean, Odegaard is coming from a thorough breed of, you know, footballers, and he had a lot of people around him who must have influenced him. I mean, but how can you can't blame Madrid for letting him go? After all, you have the masters in the middle there. You have Luka there. You have Toni Kroos and all the rest of them, all of them in that pack. So there was really nothing they could do at that point. He needs to go on, move on, and prove himself. He's hugely talented, and it's no surprise to me, you know, that he's doing what he's doing at Arsenal. All he needs to do for him not to get frustrated is for this team to be performing at this same level, you know, year in, year out.
Yeah,
that's the only way for him not to be frustrated or for him not to be priced away. That the team needs to be fortified. We saw how the team suffered when for all the time Partey was out injured, you know. And
that reminds me. Let's just talk about that.
Partey is back now. We are seeing that synergy between him, Partey, and Rice in that middle. So it gives him more opportunity,
freedom,
to flare, to go forward, and all of that, knowing that he has these two guys beside him and behind him. So I mean, when you have a midfielder of that stature and have these people who can shield the ball, you know, around him, they will go and mesmerize the opponents. That's all. His game is very easy.
Reggie and his flip-flop. Talk to me about Thomas Partey. And I think the Partey that I saw today I think I saw this Partey last season. I've not seen this Partey like 12 months now. You know, I saw a Partey today that started the game and was ready to not to let that starting 11 go out from, you know, split away from him anymore. What do you think about Partey's formation and the formation of Partey, the Rice and Odegaard? I think if we can have these three players available for like 12 months, Arsenal should be winning the league.
I said during our last conversation, our last show, we talked about Partey, and I asked the question.
Yes.
I asked whether if given the option, do you want to retain Partey or do you want to sell him this summer? You know, and we both agreed that, I mean, Partey is a Rolls Royce of a footballer. You know, we talk about Saliba being a Rolls Royce of a defender. Partey is an incredible footballer. We saw that today. You know, as simple as he keeps it, he makes it look easy. You know, but the guy is a baller. He's a bona fide baller. So, again, for those that do recruitment at Arsenal and those that make key decisions, even if you don't offer that guy a new contract, keep him for his last season till his contract ends. Do not let Partey go anywhere, because what you can do is space out his games. He can do one game a month, or you can keep him for some special crucial games from February, from the mid-February, end of February. Let him play all the games at the end of the season, because that's the crunch end. That's where you need the big boys to come to play. And so he's injury prone. We know that because of his muscles around his thighs and all that, his groin and everything. So since we already know that, just let him build. Once season starts, slowly. After January, February, you unleash him. That's what you need to move forward. The guy's talent, ability, experience, you cannot buy that anywhere right now. So yeah, he's my man any day.
But he's not even up to full fitness, but you can see those deft touches that he has, and the impact he has in the game.
I think so.
But Arsenal, this is 4 games to go now. Is what it is. What's your girls telling you? Can there a chance Arsenal can still win this? Look at the fixture that Liverpool and Man City has. This is one of the games that some people thought that it was going to. I mean, Arsenal has played Wolves. Wolves was supposed to be a tricky game for them today. Chelsea as well. Then they have Tottenham over the weekend. Do you think it's looking more and more that they're going to stay in this race till the last minute?
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought after the Aston Villa loss that it would just kind of be resetting and just doing their best until the end of the season. I didn't think they would capitulate like they did last year, where one bad result resulted in various ones. Their game against Bayern was unfortunate, but that's the Champions League. You're against champions. You're not just against run-of-the-mill teams or other teams in the Premier League, quote unquote. But I do think Arsenal are in this to the very end. They have a very good advantage goal-wise. And the only thing we can hope for, all we can do is win the rest of our games. There is nothing else we can do besides that. And just pray on Man City's downfall. I think, in my opinion, Liverpool are out of this race. I know they had that recent victory. I forgot who they played on Sunday, but I just think that it's too far gone for Liverpool in the sense that their goal difference is, either the weakest of the 3 or, nonetheless, they can't finish for shit. But I think Man City, if they slip up against Tottenham, because Tottenham have always been that kind of, mosquito that bites at them. For some reason, no matter who the manager is, Tottenham always seem to be a thorn in Man City's side. So I'm praying that they lose that game, and if we win the rest, I mean, we're champions. But I know, I know your username is Jude, but like Jude had said, Odegaard and key players, Arteta, I feel like they are so close to the pinnacle that none of them want to give up quite yet. And kind of circling back around what Eugene said about Partey, I agree. I mean, I know Arsenal's style is to not let go of players for the free because they're very financially wary per se, but I don't think there's any player that kind of fits Partey's profile out there in the world. I mean, besides, I would say Camavinga for Madrid. I mean, but we're not going to get him. Let's be real. But yeah, I think holding on to the end isn't going to be difficult in the sense of us winning the rest of our games. I just think it's either Man City slips up or, I mean, the obvious, they win their 10 millionth title in a row.